The Order 1886, the visual benchmark. We have to start with the game that still, to this day, makes people check their calendar to see if it actually came out in 2015. The Order 1886 is a technical marvel that was arguably too ahead of its time. For a small channel like ours, focusing on immersion and realism, this is the gold standard. The developers, ready at dawn, created a world where the transition between cinematic and gameplay is literally invisible. Even as we look forward to the graphics of Crimson Desert in 2026, the material physics in the Order, the way light hits the cobblestone streets of London, or the micro details on the Tesla-inspired weaponry is terrifyingly good. The story is a dark, gritty reimagining of Arthurian legend in a steampunk industrial revolution. You play as Sir Galahad, a knight caught in a war against half-breeds. While critics back then complained about the length, they missed the point. This is a 12-year-old game that looks better than most AAA titles releasing today. It doesn't use a HUD, it doesn't hold your hand with bright neon markers, and it forces you to soak in the atmosphere. If you want a game that feels heavy and authentic, you cannot skip this. Spec Ops: The Line, the narrative masterpiece. If there is one game on this list you need to buy immediately, it's Spec Ops: The Line. I'm serious. This game is being delisted from digital stores due to music licensing issues, and once it's gone, a piece of gaming history goes with it. On the surface, it looks like a generic military shooter set in a sand-buried Dubai, but that's the trap. It's actually a psychological descent into hell inspired by Heart of Darkness. You aren't playing a hero, you're playing a man making impossible choices in a situation where there is no right answer. The grit and realism here aren't just in the graphics, but in the consequences. As Captain Walker, your physical appearance and your voice lines actually change as the story progresses. You start with professional military callouts and end the game screaming in rage and desperation. The sand physics were revolutionary, allowing you to shoot out windows to bury enemies alive, but it's the white phosphorus scene that will stay with you forever. It's a game that asks you, do you feel like a hero yet? It is the most uncomfortable, essential, story-driven experience in the genre.
Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now you guys know I'm a sucker for base building and management, and while Shadow of Mordor isn't a traditional city builder, it features the most addictive army management system ever made, the Nemesis system. Before we get into the mercenary camps of Crimson Desert, you have to see how this game handles AI. Every orc you encounter has a name, a personality, and a memory. If an Ura kills you, he gets promoted, gains a title, and will literally mock you the next time you meet. This creates a personal, emergent story that no scripted RPG can match. You aren't just clearing a map, you're dismantling a hierarchy. You can find a weak captain, dominate his mind, and help him rise through the ranks to become a war chief's bodyguard, only to have him betray his master in the middle of a massive siege. The base here is the army you build. The feeling of seeing your hand-picked captains charging into battle alongside you is incredible. Even with the 2026 tech we have now, the fact that no other developer has successfully copied this system is a tragedy. It's a deep, crunchy, mechanical masterpiece. If immersion is what you're looking for, Deus Ex: Human Revolution is the definitive cyberpunk experience. Taking place in 2027, interestingly just 1 year after our current date, it explores a world divided by human augmentation. The art direction is legendary. Everything is bathed in a black and gold cyber renaissance aesthetic that makes every room, every office, and every sewer pipe feel like it has a story to tell. You play as Adam Jensen, a security specialist who never asked for the mechanical body he was forced into. What makes this a Madverse favorite is the player agency. Every mission is a puzzle with 4 or 5 solutions. You can go in guns blazing, hack the security turrets to do the work for you, or find a hidden vent and ghost the entire level without ever being seen. The world building is densely packed with emails, newspapers, and environmental storytelling that makes the world feel lived in and reactive. It deals with deep themes of transhumanism and corporate greed that feel more relevant today than they did 10 years ago. It's not just a game, it's a vision of a future we're currently living through.
Number 5. Binary Domain. Binary Domain is the best game you've never heard of. Developed by the team behind the Yakuza series, this is a sci-fi shooter that features some of the most satisfying destruction physics in gaming history. In most games, when you shoot an enemy, they just lose health. In Binary Domain, you are fighting highly advanced robots, and you can literally dismantle them piece by piece. If you shoot off their legs, they will crawl toward you. If you shoot off their gun arm, they'll pick the weapon up with their other hand. But the real insane part is the consequence system. You lead a Rust crew of international soldiers, and they actually react to how you treat them. If you're a jerk in dialogue or a bad leader in combat, they might ignore your orders or even refuse to save you when you're downed. It adds a layer of team management that makes the action feel grounded. The boss fights are massive, multi-stage encounters against giant robotic monstrosities that require tactical precision. It's fast, it's loud, and the procedural damage makes every firefight feel unique. It's a hidden gem that deserves a second life in 2026. Number 6. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. If you're waiting for the depth of Crimson Desert, you need to spend some time in the Feylands of Kingdoms of Amalur. This game was a collaboration between R.A. Salvatore, Todd McFarlane, and the lead designer of Oblivion. It's often described as single-player World of Warcraft, and for good reason. The world is massive, split into distinct zones filled with hundreds of quests, hidden dungeons, and randomized loot. But where it truly shines is the combat. Unlike the stiff combat of Skyrim, Amalur is fluid, fast, and weight-based. For the suckers for base building out there, this game has deep crafting and alchemical systems that let you forge your own legendary gear from scratch. You aren't locked into a class either. The Destiny system lets you shift your playstyle at any time, combining stealth, magic, and brute force into a hybrid build that fits your specific style. Whether you're crafting the perfect set of daggers or exploring the massive Mithros region in the Fatesworn expansion, Amalur offers a level of content density that is rare in modern RPGs. It's a 100-hour journey that never feels like a grind.
Number 7. Titanfall 2, the Pacing Masterclass. We're ending this list with the most polished 6 hours in gaming history, Titanfall 2. While most of you know it for the multiplayer, the single-player campaign is a masterclass in level design and pacing. It follows the bond between a rifleman, Jack Cooper, and his Titan, BT-7274. In a world of bloated 80-hour open worlds, Titanfall 2 is a lean, high-octane experience where every single level introduces a new, mind-bending mechanic that is never repeated. Take the mission Effect and Cause, where you get a device that allows you to shift between the past and the present in real time. You'll be jumping through a gap in a floor in the present, clicking a button to land on a platform that only exists in the past, and then shifting back to kick an enemy through a wall. It is pure, unadulterated fun. The scale of the set pieces, from ship-to-ship boarding parties to massive Titan brawls, is cinematic perfection. It doesn't have a single second of filler. If you haven't played this campaign yet, you are missing out on the absolute peak of the first-person genre.